China, Russia, and Iran are set to hold joint naval drills in the Gulf of Oman. Beijing says the drills will begin tomorrow and last till Monday. It says they are aimed at deepening exchange and cooperation between their navies. This comes amid heightened tensions between the US and Iran. Both sides have been at loggerheads since Washington reimposed sanctions on Tehran last year after withdrawing from a landmark nuclear deal. And there's also been months of tension between China and the US over trade and what Beijing calls US interference in its internal affairs, for instance, the situation in Hong Kong. Annette Lim has more. We understand it's the first such trilateral exercise. And while, Iran would be keen to position the drills as a message to the world, that they have friends, they have allies, China is a bit more cautious about doing that. And in fact, they're likely to limit their involvement to their non-combat anti-piracy, anti-terrorism naval forces. That's because China is unwilling to be drawn into the Iran-US conflict. And what essentially China wants is to be able to showcase their destroyer, the Xening, in these naval drills, and to also potentially sell weapons to Iran. So there's an economic aspect, there's a geopolitical power rebalancing aspect, and obviously China is the world's largest importer of crude oil. It wants to diversify this crude oil sources from Russia and Saudi Arabia to also Iran. And in participating in these drills, it's also signaling to the world that it wants to protect these waterways, which is essentially China's lifeline to the Middle Eastern oil.
Shalom. Call hello Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people ignorantly call God, by Hashem in the name of Yahushua, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son, not Yeshua, not Yahweh, not Yehoshua, not just any other names outside of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Any other names outside of that, okay, will not profit you. Okay? Just to put that out there. To the Akim that's pushing this, Shalom to the Akim that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Shalom to you. Also to the speckled bird, man, woman, and child out there whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers. Though you may look like the heathen nations are the nations on this chart that's I'm about to pull up. Oh, bear with me real quick. The heathen nations are the nations on this chart starting from 2 on down. Okay. Also, if your lineage, your seed line goes back to these tribes through the man as seen on this chart, and if your spirit bear witness with this word and this truth, and you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, this does apply to you. You are Israelites. Though, once again, you may look like the heathen nations due to the scattering of these people on this chart. Okay, we look like the other nations. Okay? To the few Aqua, which is you sisters that do listen and learn, Shalom. To you, to the elect of the nation of Israel, wherever may be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who this word is going out to, Shalom to you as well. To the you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you could bond, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people, the Most High Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ once again, Yahweh Shah. And yeah, this basically, tying into the whole World War III scenario. Okay, as you see, China, Russia, and Iran, they're doing, joint naval drills due to the tensions that they're having with the United States. What's the United States America? According to the scriptures, America is code name under many different names. Okay, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Assyria, okay, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, but mystery Babylon the Great is mainly what it is. Okay, and these nations, they've had it. Okay, let me just start off with this. I didn't put any scriptures together, but I'm going to start off with this. Right. This is Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken of her wine. The wine, okay, goes for the philosophies of America, okay? And mainly the dollar, okay, the petrodollar, the American petrodollar, that was used, okay, when it came to these nations. And now these nations, they've realized that the petrodollar was just a way America commit, what they would call economic terrorism on them, okay? But just many other things, their lands, okay, they have in the East, over in the East, they have their laws, and America has their, okay, so-called laws. But what's happening is America is pushing, okay, that westernized ideology on their people. And you're seeing it, okay, you're witnessing, okay, that happening throughout the four corners of the earth. People, okay, seeing the people in the East, the women's more rebellious, okay, the people, the whole LGBTQ, okay, scene that's popping up out there, okay, revolts against the government, okay, all that's popping off. So the nations, okay, real quick, let me go back. It says Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And this is what's happening. The nations are fed up, okay, with America, okay, on all levels, okay. This is Ecclesiastes, 3. And this is what I actually meant to get at first. And 3 and 1, to everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to get, and actually this is the 8th verse, Salakia. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. And this is the time we're in. We're in the time of what? War, okay, and hate, okay. We ain't in that time of love, okay, and peace anymore, okay. You see it out here, man. You see the whole vibration out here, okay. But we in the time of war. A sound of battle and of great destruction is in the land, like it says in the book of Jeremiah 51 and 22, I believe, okay. These nations, they want to go to war with America, okay. This is let me see. Bear with me real quick. Hold on, bear with me real quick while I find the scripture. Jeremiah 50. Let me try that. Right? This is let me see. This is Jeremiah 50. I started verse 8. Remove out the midst of Babylon, and go forth out the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Okay? And they shall set themselves in array against her. From then shall she be taken. Their arrows, which the arrows is symbolic for what? The missiles. Okay? And Russia just created, okay, a new missile. Okay? And I'm going to show you those assembly of great nations it's talking about. Let me type in Russian missile. Yep. This is just one.
It can fly at 27 times the speed of sound. Russia says its newly deployed Avangard missile is the world leader in hypersonic weapons. So how will it affect the global arms race? This is Inside Story.
So they got a new app. It's called the Avangard. It's launched on top of intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay, they got once again a new missile. Then you got Kim Jong-un. He basically was basically threatening America, saying that he has a gift for them, which they know that gift. They don't know if it's an EMP or a missile. But basically, these nations are taunting America, And I'm going to show you real quick those assembly of great nations is talking about. You know, Yahweh Ratazah, this ain't, all over the place, but just got to bring it out. This is Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. That's Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Because the king, like it says in Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever he will, as the rivers of water. Okay, the heart going into what? The mind. The Lord is putting the spirit, okay, on these different nations to come up against America. Okay, they're not just doing that on their own. Okay, the Lord is putting the spirit on these kings, these presidents, or these leaders, or these other heathen nations to come up against this place. Okay. And it goes into the allies. This is Ezekiel 38:5. Persia, which if you look up Persia, is Iran. Okay. Ethiopia, that's Hamites, so-called Africans. Okay. Cush and Libya, also Hamites with them. All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, which is Turkey, and all his bands, the house of Togama of the North Cords, and all his bands, and many people with thee. And Turkey, I believe now they're fully, committed to Russia, because Turkey is a part of NATO. Okay, NATO is set up to be an opposition against Russia, but now Turkey is joining hand in hand with the Russians, because America, has stabbed them in the back, so to say. America is doing what it did with all its allies. Okay, broken the covenants that is made with its allies. So the allies is what? They're dealing treacherously, okay, with America. Like it says in Isaiah 33:1. Okay? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. And be thou a guard unto him. Just like it said, going back to Jeremiah 51:8. Let me read it again. Remove out the midst of, Jeremiah 50:9 actually. But lo, I will raise and come and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. And I just read to you those nations. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Okay? And what's that? Those once again is the missiles. The missiles is coded in the scriptures. Okay? The Lord is putting the spirit on these nations, okay, to come up against Babylon the Great. Pretty soon, something's going to happen to when World War III breaks out, okay? And eventually, missiles are going to be shot. And I'm going to actually try to do a video going into that, okay? But, that's the thing, okay? These nations are rising up against this whore, okay? They're fed up with America, man. Who isn't fed up with America? Besides the wicked, 2/3 of our people. Okay, you Edomites here in this that believe this country could be great again. Okay, you are the heathen nation that's within this country as well. You, okay, but this is what the Lord got in plan. Okay, this is Joel 3. And 1. For behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, all the way down to you so-called Latinos and Native Americans, okay? You are in captivity, like it says in Baruch, the 3rd chapter, okay? In the 8th verse, okay? Who we captives of? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, okay? Who is in power right now, okay? They have us in captivity, okay? So the Lord is getting ready to bring us out of captivity. Okay? Joel 3:2. I will also gather all nations, like you seeing now, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the valley of judgment, okay? And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations and parted my land. Okay? And how do we get scattered? Okay, because the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the 64th verse fell upon us. But who did the scattering? Okay? If you go down, keep reading down, it tells you how we got scattered. It's due to the transatlantic slave trade. Okay? How these heathens, okay, Ishmael and Ham, the so-called Africans, they rounded us up and sold us to the so-called Grecians, which this talking about the Edomites, the so-called white people. Okay, that's how we got scattered. And who's in the land right now? If you go Ezekiel 30, the 36th chapter, on talks about how the heathen have our land in the possession, mainly Amalek, the so-called Jews, okay, who's starting their demonization propaganda right now, trying to demonize us as terrorists because this truth is coming out. We're not saying anything that's terroristic. We just telling you the truth, okay? That's what it is, okay? But you have many different heathen nations fighting over, okay, land, the land of Israel. Well, no, it doesn't belong to any of them. It belongs to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But because we went off, because we sinned against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, he put us in captivity, okay, and kicked us out of the land, okay. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in, okay. But the Lord is going to gather all these nations, okay, down in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, mainly that Middle Eastern region, okay, to fight World War III, okay. To plead with who? His heritage, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, and so Yahweh can make his return. Okay. As you go in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, they're gonna be fighting each other. Then they're gonna see Yahweh and the angels return those chariots, and they're gonna fight Yahweh. Okay. This is Isaiah 34 and 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation, real quick, indignation, I want to get that word, katsef. It says wrath, anger of the Most High, of man, splinter, twig, broken. Okay? Rage of strife, indignation, sore wrath. Okay? Why he have wrath towards these nations? Because they put their hands on the apple of the Lord's eye. Okay? You heathens consulted against the nation of Israel. So he has an indignation towards you. Okay? Isaiah 34 and 2. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And this is getting ready to play out. Okay? We don't know what the Most High got in plan to start and spark the bomb, okay, between these nations. But this is what's about to come to pass. Okay? All these prophecies are going to come to pass. Okay? Eventually, all these prophecies are going to come to pass. We're not just going to keep seeing, the talking back and forth. It's going to eventually end in gunfire, then eventually end in what? Nuclear missiles. Okay? But that's how many people are going to be dead in this world war. Okay? And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. The mushroom cloud from what? The missiles. And all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Okay? That's how many bodies is going to drop in this war. This is going to be a major, okay, a major death when it comes to this war. Okay? World War II, World War I, the Vietnam War, the Civil War, none of that is going to come close to what World War III is going to do. Okay? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse of judgment. Idumea is just a Greek way of saying Edom, which Edom is you so-called white people. Okay? You're the descendants of Esau, Edomite, Idumean. Okay? Idawam, your Hebrew name. Okay? Which means Edom. Okay? And this is why this war is getting prepped up. It's mainly for you Edomites, okay? Because you Edomites, you've been proud, okay? You don't believe that nobody could take. You believe that your military will never be taken down, that you have the strongest military in the world, okay? So this is what's coming. The Lord is about to really disappoint you Edomites, okay? You thinking that you're going to go into World War III and come out victorious, you got another thing coming, okay? The sword, this is the 6th verse, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, once again Edom, okay, the capital city of Edom, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and the land shall be soaked with blood, and the dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Okay? And this is why uh this is why this is all taking place due to the controversy of what happened to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? This is why this is coming about. Okay? It's not because, you know, they just are fighting each other because they don't like each other. It goes way beyond that, which that's the case, but it's mostly because you touch the apple of the Lord's eye. Once again, mainly you Edomites, but all you heathens came together, according to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, okay, to make sure our people were destroyed like they're destroyed right now, okay? And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone. The lake thereof shall become a burning pitch. From what? The missiles. Once the missiles are shot and they hit their target, which they're mainly gonna hit America, Babylon the Great, because this is the Lord's main place of judgment. Okay? This is where most of the Israelites dwell at. Right here in America. We're all over, but we're mainly right here in America. And it shall not be quenched day, nor night, nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all their princes shall be nothing. Okay? And who are the nobles of this wicked society? Is the elites. Okay? The Rothschilds, okay? The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, okay? All of them. Okay? The wicked. Okay? The ones that's really running the show right here. That's been controlling everything. Okay? Real soon, why ain't you gonna find them? Because America, Babylon the Great, is gonna be destroyed. Plus you Edomites, a lot of you, including the rest of you heathens that survive, okay, what you call Judgment Day, which is the day of Jacob's trouble. Okay, when you survive that, you're going into captivity. Okay? That's why there won't be no more princes found, nothing here. Okay? So if you believe, okay, if you are one of those people that so-called believe in the Bible and you want America to be great again, okay, or you're praying for America, you're really anti-Messiah. Because the scriptures, according to the scriptures, America, okay, is destined, the Lord's destiny is for America to be destroyed, okay, for the controversy of Zion, okay, and this is what's about to come to pass, okay. You're seeing all the cards being laid on the table, and we're seeing how everything is lining up, how prophecy is playing out now, okay. So that's that was just a real quick lesson, you know. Yahweh Ratazah, this was edifying to the elect. Call her Lord Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Shalom to the elect once again. Abad Babo, Abad Ha, Ayapaya, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom to the elect. Shalom.